This is a production of West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
In the scenic landscape of West Virginia, a unique form of entertainment has taken root: escape rooms.
Escape rooms are important to me because it lets me work my brain in a way that I don't really get to in other situations. It lets me solve puzzles in ways that you can't really do at your house.
These immersive experiences have become increasingly popular across the state, offering a thrilling blend of puzzles and storytelling. From mining-themed challenges that nod to West Virginia's industrial heritage, to narratives by the rich folklore of the Appalachian region and beyond. Join us as we explore the captivating world of escape rooms and how they found their way to West Virginia.
An escape room is an immersive adventure that challenges you to complete a task or mission together.
An escape room is an experience. You will come in with another person. You need at least two people to do this. And you're in a scenario. You have to use elements of the room to progress further into the room, to either open up locks, open up secret doors, secret panels, to complete whatever your objective is in a certain amount of time.
The first thing you do is select a theme from one of the multiple rooms to choose from. Common themes include fantasy, mystery, science fiction, and for you thrill seekers, horror.
Escape rooms can be scary, but it really depends on the theme. The two games that we offer here are very family friendly.
Some can be scary, but never for us, never any horror.
Okay, so not everyone does scary. After your theme is selected, you will then be briefed on your mission. Despite being called an escape room, your goal may not always be about escaping, but finding clues to locate missing documents or artifacts. So now that you have your mission, you're ready to enter a world of mystery. But wait, what if you get stuck? Like any game, escape rooms can be challenging. However, you are never alone. That is where the Game Masters come in.
A Game Master here with us involves, they come out and they will greet their group. They will take them into a prep room and go over some do's and don'ts of the game. Then we'll show them a trailer that will tell them about their experience they're getting ready to begin. Then they will take them into a room, leave them in the room. Then our Game Masters get to be like FBI agents and sit behind a monitor and listen to their group and communicate with them, depending on which game, in different ways. They do stay in that character throughout the game to try to help them out when they need help. We try to conceal it in a way to where they still have to think on how to do it. But they're there to help throughout the entire game, watching and helping.
I have a great team of game masters who I can trust to run the games. Having that team with me is just incredibly valuable, and they make the job fun.
The origins of escape rooms go back, way back, to an ancient era, 1974. It was a time of fighting dragons and exploring dungeons. And just like escape rooms have game masters, these tabletop role-playing games had game masters of their own. Just like in the escape rooms, the game masters would introduce the rules and guide the players in this fantasy board game as they would carry out their quest. However, as technology grew, games became more sophisticated. In 1983, Eiji Yokoyama designed a game called Planet Mephius. The plot is an epic futuristic sci-fi space opera adaptation of the legend of King Arthur. A key innovation of this game was the introduction of a point-and-click interface, allowing the player to interact with objects on the screen. The objective? To find the magic sword. In 1988, a man named John Wilson created Behind Closed Doors, a text-based game where you are a Balrog and mischief makers have locked you in the, bathroom. This quirky cult classic is the first inception of a player trapped in a room with the objective of escaping. We now move ahead to 2004.
I learned about escape rooms through video gaming. They have been a genre of video games for a few decades now. Back online, there were a bunch of free ones using the old Flash system.
One of those Flash games was The Crimson Room, created by Toshimitsu Taki in 2004. In this game, you wake up in a bright red room, suffering from retrograde amnesia. You don't know where you are or how you got there. All you know is that you need to escape this mysterious red room. By searching for clues, you are able to make your escape. However, the concept of escape rooms was too good to remain in cyberspace. The first real-life escape room appeared in Kyoto, Japan. Back in 2007, Teiko Kato created the first in-person interactive escape room for a Japanese company called Scrap. Obviously, the escape room was a hit. In 2012, Scrap brought their hit escape room to San Francisco. Between 2012 and 2014, the popularity of escape rooms has spread across the United States, with different artists adding their own twist to the games.
I'm surprised sometimes that escapes in other communities don't latch on to their local history, what's going on geographically around them. So early on, Runaway Train, our first theme. It's a coal railroad history here. The Mothman was a fit. Started off with the Greenbrier bunker. The Greenbrier folks weren't very happy with that, so then we changed it to the secret bunker. But we love really highlighting West Virginia history, West Virginia experience, and people are appreciative of that.
It's still kind of the Wild West out there, even though they've been around for a long time. There's so much diversity nationwide. Some of the best rooms I've been in have been in West Virginia.
So, how did such a phenomenon find its way into the mountains of West Virginia?
We first saw our first escape room in Nashville about 8 years ago. Fell in love with the idea, thought about it for a while, put it in the back of our mind. And then when we started, we have 4 daughters, and when we started seeing our daughters texting from across the table to each other, we said, okay, it's time for us to do something where families can put away their phones and they can have fun.
I can go back to March 2016. Son and I did a trip. He was studying early U.S. history, so we went to Boston, and we were walking down the street and came across an escape game. It was a pirate theme. We joined a group of millennials, and they were very happy to have us join. They were a little suspect, but I have to say, was he 10? My 10-year-old son, we would not have escaped had it not been for his ability to find things that nobody else was finding. And so again, my history as a facilitator, fascination with group dynamics, seeing what was created, experiencing it, and then combination of Fayetteville, being a tourism destination, it made a lot of sense.
I ended up taking over this escape room from the old owners. I was one of the first 2 outside family employees that got hired back in 2017, and I've been here ever since.
I own and operate Rad Effects Co., and Rad Effects Co. is the special effects wing of my business that builds things for out-of-town escape rooms. I've worked on film, television, theater, commercials. I do everything that anybody calls and says they have a need for: specialty costuming, puppetry, makeup. Do basic production design from ground up. As you can see from here, we designed and built all of this here in-house. So what this place really is a portfolio of our work to showcase what we can do for our customers. The reason that we started this is my mother needed care, so I couldn't really leave town and go work on a movie. So what am I going to do while I'm here? Let's try this.
And they did more than just try. Today, these mystery makers are operating some of the most popular escape rooms in West Virginia.
Yes, Watson. Oh.
So how did they unlock the secrets to their success?
Strong work ethic is very important to any of this type of stuff, because there are very long nights, there are very long days, and you may not get paid the way you want, but you can't really picture yourself doing anything else. I know how to do a lot of stuff, but I like putting it together in this fashion.
In order to have the best escape room, I think you really need to have a good set design and a good concept of the puzzles and how the players will interact with them. We're in our Time Chasers room. It's our smaller game, rated for 4 to 6 players. We typically put smaller groups into this room just because it's a little bit more linear gameplay as opposed to our larger game Excalibur, which is kind of more pyramidal. We like to put people in here when they have never played an escape room before, or if they're just not super confident in their ability to be able to split up into multiple teams and divide and conquer. Now you're seeing our flux capacitor found in our Time Chasers room. Time Chasers is a unique experience that allows you to travel through time by playing unique musical tones to unlock different time eras. All right, so now we're in Excalibur, which you start out locked up in the dungeon, and you have to escape from the dungeon to assemble the Knights of the Round Table, find Excalibur, and save Camelot. The beautiful sword, which some nerds, if you look, you might notice that it's actually from Lord of the Rings. It's the Lord of the Rings sword.
I don't know if we can say that, but it's okay.
Nerds, we love nerds. Favorite things that groups tend to do is they'll come in and they'll read one of our clues that we have that says, only your dragon's breath may reveal the knight's true identity. As soon as they read that, for some reason, some people immediately want to start coming over and breathing on the wall. It's like they think that they are a dragon and they have dragon's breath, but in reality, they're gonna find a tool hidden somewhere in the room that's gonna help them out a little bit easier than breathing on it.
I think what makes an escape room good is it being totally immersive. Whenever the story that you have going into that room is played out and actually looks like you were in that environment. But when you walk into the room and seeing that story come to life around you, I think is probably the most important thing.
What makes a perfect escape room to me is probably what you'd see when you come in here. Something that's really well appointed, that is a film-ready environment. We are completely 100% immersive. I want to bring you into my world here, and by doing so, it has to be wall to wall, floor to ceiling. So that's how we do it. And that training in Hollywood, that attention to Hollywood detail, is what you'll see when you come to these rooms. Hey guys, welcome to Out of Time Escape Rooms. Come on in, I'll show you around a little bit. This is the future. The year is 2077, and unfortunately it's not a very nice place. We've done a lot of damage to our beautiful planet, and this is what we've ended up with. So you get a steam-operated dystopian future if you don't take care of our planet. This is where we're going to end up. Oasis, our building's operational intelligence, she'll address you over that next screen, and she will give you ins and outs on how to safely survive your time travel journey today, because time travel doesn't come without its own set of danger. You know, you can't just be jumping around time without following the rules. Our 1985 Christmas room shows up first. This is Professor Quantum's grandparents' home in Charleston, West Virginia, 1985. In the year 2077, he's an old man who's very maudlin and wants to come back in time and visit his grandparents again on Christmas Eve. But there's a reason he's here. It's more to it than just that. And you figure that out while you play the adventure in this room. Once you turn the electricity on, this whole side of the room lights up and Christmas music turns on, and maybe there's a reason you need to have that Christmas music on, but not telling you. You have to come play and find out. Let's check out our other room, Poe's Lament. You're searching for Edgar Allan Poe's lost manuscript he was writing shortly before his very mysterious and untimely death. Check this out, 1849, here we come. So this is Edgar Allan Poe's writing room. And what are you going to find in here? Lots of spooky stuff, hopefully. But it's not too spooky. It's a lot of fun. There's only a few little tiny things in here that might give you a sense of the macabre. And when you're here, there's a lot of references in this room to Edgar Allan Poe's work. So if you can figure out his stories, if you remember any of his stories from 8th grade English class, then you might be able to get out of here.
For me, is not only you get immersed into a story, that's what's really unique. It's not just you're a spectator, you're actually part of the story. But it is also a great outing for a family or for a group of people just to be in a community scenario where you are working cooperatively to try to come up with solutions. That is what is so unique, is you are working together.
One of the biggest draws for me is the immersion and the storytelling, and especially if the puzzles are really deeply tied to the story and the setting, even more than the difficulty of the puzzles. I just like feeling like I'm in a different place with a goal for an hour. I find that really fun.
As you can see, our heroes have a dedication to creating immersive stories. So how do they come up with their ideas?
What we do here is we try to pick a theme, and then we'll do lots of staff pizza gatherings, and we'll dive into it, and it's a tough process. But generally, that's just where everything comes from. I find for escapes, it's all about deciding who are the players, all the questions of who, what, why, when, right? You start asking those questions on paper, and then you start considering, for a secret bunker, what would be in a bunker? And once you start collecting things that you would find in a bunker, you look at those items and you say, how might we turn that into some kind of problem-solving challenge or puzzle? That is a significant part of the process for us.
Oh, our creative process is crazy. It's kind of off the rails sometimes. We have nudged each other in the middle of the night and said, I have this great idea. It's like, I can't wait till morning. And but we pull them from anything. We can pull them from an article that we see on our iPhones, or we can pull them from board games, TV shows, something mysterious, and we'll just look at each other and say, that is such a great idea. How could we incorporate this into a game? And
Give it that twist.
Give it a twist, and then she finds a lot of my little sticky notes laying around.
And napkins.
And napkins. I will be at lunch at the hospital where I work, and I will get this idea, and I'll just grab a napkin and write it down. And then I'll stick it in my wallet and bring it home, and she finds it, and if there's scribbles on it, she usually just puts them in a drawer. And eventually we get back to all of them and put them all together. So it's a kind of a chaotic mess. If you've seen the meme online where the person's thinking about all the, the triangles and all, that's kind of what we do a little bit. So, but we always try to incorporate it into a story, to have something, to have an issue going on, and having to work through that to a final, to complete the mission, to complete the drama, the mystery. You have to really tighten it up to make it to where it really tells a story.
Trying to do here, we want to take you to a different reality, but it's grounded enough so that you go, oh, well, that's this or that's that. And you look at things around here, and the idea is that this is a society that had to rebuild after a horrible cataclysm, and they utilized just scraps and things that they could find from, just scavenging the area. All of industry has been destroyed. What I really am at the core of it, though, is a storyteller. There's a story here when you walk in the door.
Speaking of story, this is the part where we discover the payoff or the emotional reward for our heroes. So, is this all just pure escapism, or is there something deeper here?
Running the escape room has been kind of therapeutic. It's allowed me to take my life in more of the direction that I wanted it to be in than it was going. It's allowed me to kind of, I feel, move up in life a little bit. I'm not really struggling for money as much as I was beforehand, but I was also a college student at the time before I took over, so we have that.
I never want to underestimate the power of this kind of experience. Whether it be super challenging, frustrating, and people leave a little upset at themselves or other people because of the competitiveness around it, or what we appreciate probably the most is where parents see their children in a completely different light, right? Parents suddenly are like, oh my gosh, we would not have escaped had it not been for my child.
There are things that we do as family, but it is a unique experience where we can go as a family unit or as a group of people that get together and have some bonding time, something that you just fall in love with, and you all are working together to get to a solution, to get to the end goal, and it makes it makes it something where you're making a memory that you just can't quite copy that in other types of games.
This is very freeing. I think people always say to me, you just live in your own little world, don't you? Well, I figured I should just build it, and then I wouldn't have to listen to it anymore and say, yes, I actually do live in my own little world.
When you do get out, I feel like a genius. I feel happy. I feel excited. And you feel good about the people that you did it with, because it's a real bonding thing. It's just a fun thing to do with the people that you care about.
It's very fulfilling. We work in the medical field our whole life. We've done that and have had to deal with some, bad news over the time. But being able to be part of birthdays, anniversaries, seeing people come in, a little bit excited, not knowing what to expect, and hearing laughter for an hour, because we really have a good time and get to know the players that come in here, and to see them leave, and as they're going out the door, they're talking about their experience.
Well, when you're in the medical field, you're there to help. You're there to make things easier for people. This just lets all of that come out. You're going to be at work and you're going to have to deal with difficult issues. I'm a neuro nurse. I worked on a neuro unit for years where we had people that were paraplegic, quadriplegic, trauma patients, and to deal with that day in and day out, and then to come here and finish the rest of your day out with people having fun and laughing, it just kind of makes it full circle.
What we just saw is not just a story about escapism, but a story about interactive storytelling and how storytelling can make a real impact on our lives. What started with tabletop games expanded into computer games, exploded into the real world in Japan, and found its way into the hills of West Virginia.
I keep coming back to escape rooms to see what's new. I want to see new experiences, new scenarios, new stories. I have been in such things as castles, to pirate ships, to dark rooms, Egyptian scenarios, all kinds of different stories being told. And it makes that so different, so unique. I want to see something that's new, to be part of a story that is unique and something that I haven't seen before.
I have lost track of how many escape rooms I have done so far. I know it is over 30, but exactly how many over 30, I don't know.
West Virginia's escape rooms draw influences from around the world, while still offering a deeper connection to the region, bringing together families, improving the lives of others, and giving people the creative freedom that they have been looking for.
I would definitely say that an escape room is a little bit of an escape itself. Like, it really does immerse you in the theme of the game and allows you to just kind of forget about all the struggles that you have going on in your life and just focus on living life in the moment and having a good time while you do it.
This has been a production of West Virginia Public Broadcasting.